Hi, my name is Roland Jean Charles from PMI JCM Realty Group, where we manage properties from an asset management perspective. Today, what I want to talk to you about are 5 tips to avoid placing bad tenants. Now, most rental property owners have an issue with placing bad tenants, and generally speaking, it's because they don't have the right tools or resources to screen tenants. Consequently, placing a bad tenant can be very detrimental to the rental property business. So in this article, I'm going to discuss those 5 tips to avoid placing those bad tenants. So the first tip is to screen the tenants. Now, to most people, screening the tenants means just getting the application. But for me, screening a tenant means using a best-in-class software to process a tenant's application so that you get good information about their background, you get good information about their economics if they can afford the property, and also you get good information about their credit worthiness. And we even screen them down to the pets, and so we leave no stone unturned to determine if this tenant is going to be a good or a bad tenant for the property. And there are many systems out there, software that you can use to help you screen tenants better. The next tip that I want to give you, the second one, is to meet the tenant in person. It's good to have a face-to-face discussion with the potential tenant. And also, while you're meeting face-to-face, you can take the opportunity to do the car screen. And so the car screen is just basically you look inside their car, not creepy, but just to check to see how they keep their car, because chances are the way they keep their car is going to be the way they're going to keep your unit. So meeting them in person and being able to screen their car, I think that's a good step to take. The third recommendation, the third tip, is validate references. I once had a prospect give me their family members as their reference. Now, while I appreciate the effort, I can't accept family members as references, only because they're going to be biased towards you and they're going to say all good things, probably because they want to get you out their house. And so I can't take that. And so always make sure you get independently validated references, preferably not family members. Next, you want to validate employment. I once had a prospect tell me that they made $25,000 a month working with Google. And the problem is, when I looked at their credit history and their background, they had debt that was much less than that. And I just couldn't understand how you could make $25,000 a month and still had outstanding bills for $2,000 or $3,000. I mean, it just didn't make sense to me. And so, needless to say, doing that additional step of validating income is very, very important. And the last tip I want to give you is contact former and current landlords. If you get a good reference from a landlord, chances are you're going to have a good tenant. Some of my best tenants are the ones where the landlords are like, hey, I really don't want to let this person go, but I have to sell the property, or something like that. And so I know they're good coming in. Now, if you follow these tips, you will avoid placing bad tenants, which will ensure that your bottom line stays in the black. You can ignore these tips at your own peril and suffer the consequences of late payments, destroyed properties, and evictions. Again, my name is Roland Jean Charles from PMI JCM Realty Group, where we manage your properties from an asset management perspective. Thank you.